Okay, so as ek skree vir hulle, is dit nie te hard vir julle nie. Right. Kan ek maar die ding afhaal? May I take this off? I promise this is the only thing I'm going to take off. Just the mask. Kyk hoe sit julle hier, julle lyk soos ninjas. There's one thing that I'm worried about though. For some reason, we believe that COVID has robbed us of our sense of humor. Sy kan nog altyd lag, my meisie. Moenie dat COVID vir jou rob van jou vermoë om te lag nie. Back in the day, I could look at you, I could look at your beautiful face, and I could see the energy in your face. Nou sien ek net jou oogies. Nelson Mandela said, after climbing a hill, stop. Stop to celebrate where you've come from, but then understand that you've got a lot more climbing that you need to do. And I think that is exactly where you guys are today. You are celebrating 11 years of climbing. You are pausing because you're now in year 12. And you're realizing that once you get over this little hurdle, life starts all over again. Because we have to keep on climbing. That is the nature of life, and that is what it is all about. So maybe we sit here and also say COVID. And COVID has turned some of us into being victims. You accuse, you blame, and you complain. Are there things that you are moaning about? Matric ball? So let's think about the Matric ball for a moment. The Matric ball is supposed to be a celebration of who we are and what we've done as a collective. We can still do that. We don't need a party to get drunk. We can still celebrate who we are. We can still celebrate how connected we are. Ons het nie 'n party nodig. Wat ons later nie kan onthou waar ons was nie. So maybe we just need to rethink party. Maybe we need to rethink Matric ball. Wayne Dyer said, change the way you look at things and the things you look at will change. So what are some of the things you need to look at differently? I thought that if I look at COVID, maybe I must see the word COVID differently. COVID to me is short for connect with your own vulnerability and become intentional in how you deal with discomfort. Must I say that again? Connect with your own vulnerability and become intentional in how you deal with discomfort. Deliver us for discomfort. But let me remind you that in most cases, they are brief moments of discomfort. Once you move past discomfort, dan sê jy, "Ai, waarom het ek ge-worry?" So we just need to become intentional. Die manne van die Kaap sê, "Don't live your life by accident, live your life as prus." Every day when you come to school, there's this beautiful sign that says, "Enter to learn, but please, leave to serve." And when you enter, you understand that the word enter speaks of commitment, because you have to choose to enter. Once you choose to enter, you enter with an expectation. That expectation is to learn. I'm getting worried because in our country, grade 12s are nervous. As if you only learn in year 12. In actual fact, all your learning happened from year 1 to 11. Now, in other words, how good you were in 11 tells you how good you already are. So don't be worried about 12. You already did the work from 1 to 11. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. Yes, you are the first grade 12 group who go through a pandemic and whose school is disrupted. But you're not the first grade 12 group. I went to school in the 80s. In 1985, 1986, we had unrest in our country. And at that time, schools were closed for months. because of unrest. The context was different, but the matriculants went through the same challenges. Students at university could not go to university because there was no university. So it's not the first time. We just need to look at life differently and ask ourselves, what can we learn? So I quickly want to talk to you guys about motivation 3.0. Is jy reg my massakind? Because waar julle is hier by die Brackenfell en julle noem julle self brakkies. 'n Brakkie is 'n klein hondjie. Maar dit is gewoonlik die klein hondjies wat die moeilikheid maak. En dit is die klein hondjies wat vir die groot honde sê, "Jy, stiek uit." So maybe the brakkies need to stick out and say, "Guys, come on. Let's figure out how we deal with these challenges. How do we figure out how we become motivated at level 3.0? Now, obviously, if there's a level 3.0, then there must be a 1.0. And there must be a 2.0. Motivation 1 says, you do things because you are in survival mode. Ja? Weerie, ek moet leer. Ek moet leer want ek wil net slaag. I just want 50. Not 51, just 50. And because you're in survival mode, you do what you need to do. I don't want to get corona. Wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask. So I'm in level 1. Level 2 says you do things because there's a reward. My daughter, if you get 90% of the end of the year, Mommy's going to buy you a car. And because of that reward, they flip and perform. And once you get that 90, Mommy buys you a car. But you know what happens then? You ask Mommy, so what are you going to buy me next? Because if you do not keep on rewarding me, I stop being motivated. Remember how we went from level 5? Let's just go almost there. My fellow South Africans. Then we went to level 4. Okay guys, come on. Let's just behave, because we're going to go to level 3. Yeah, and then we went to level 3. Come on, behave. Level 2 is coming. Yep. Now we got to level 2. Level 1 is coming, level 1. Now we're at level 1, it's almost like, okay, there's no more reward. So why must we keep on doing what we have been doing? We're at the point where we have to say no. We probably need motivation 3. Because motivation 3 comes from within. It's not because I'm scared. It's not because somebody promised to reward me or somebody scared me in terms of they're going to punish me. Motivation 3 is something that comes from within. I am driven because I am. So I quickly want to unpack that for you. Motivation 3.0 speaks about AMP. A-M-P. 3 letters. A. If you want to be motivated at level 3, you need to understand the importance of autonomy. Autonomy means you have a choice. Wanneer jy uitsteek by skool en daar staan enter, dan het jy 'n choice. I want to enter. I know some of you get to the school gate in the morning, it's like, oh, must I? You almost play that game, am I in, am I out? Yeah? So it's all about autonomy. You have a choice. James Baldwin said, the purpose of education is to create in a person the ability to look at the world for him or herself. Education is about getting people to understand that they can make their own decisions. So when I talk about motivation 3.0, I want you to accept this responsibility. Will Smith says, this is your life. This is your happiness. But you know what? This is your flippin' responsibility. So take autonomy, take ownership, and then you move on. Sometimes we limit ourselves, right? There's this beautiful saying that says, the harder you fall, the higher you bounce. When I was a little bit younger, we used to sing that song, I get knocked down, but I get up again. Ken jy 'n number? Voor jou tyd. Sy ken nou net vir Jerusalem. Ja? Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we have limiting assumptions. And because of our limiting assumptions, we end up building little halls or walls or little cells for ourselves, and we can't step out because there's a little voice that says, what if it doesn't work? What if you try and it doesn't work? Take ownership. This is you. This is your best life, and let's move beyond. People say that when you follow the crowd, you will get to the exit. The problem is the exit might not be where you want to be. So you need to figure out, where are you going? What is your goal? If you don't know where you're going, then anywhere will get you there. So understand the importance of autonomy. Understand the importance of choice. Understand that as you journey through life, your job is to make sure that you look forward more than what you look back. If you drive your car while looking in the rear view mirror, you're going to crash, ek sê. Your job is to make sure that you have more dreams than memories. And let's face it, for many of us, here's the memories, there's net nightmares. So what I need to do is take the good from the past and use that to move forward. But as I own and take the responsibility, I need to keep going. A guy with the name of Ruben Elf said, hope is when you hear the melody of the future. Faith is when you dance to that melody today. Please keep in mind that if you dance to your melody, other people will think you crazy. Especially if they can't hear your melody. So if I know where I'm heading and I start driving to my job, other people is like, what's wrong with you? Didn't you see that we're in the middle of COVID? And because they don't understand my melody, they think I'm crazy. May I ask you, my dear, if success, if future, if prosperity for you was a color, wat 'n color sal dit gewees het? Geel. Bright yellow or a light yellow? Bright yellow. 'n Klein screentjie of 'n groot screen? 'n Jalse screen. So when you are in the zone, jy is helder geel, massive screen. Everybody sitting here has got their own melody. Each one of you have got your own color. But you also need to realize that you are not at your color. And if you are not in your color, you have to wake up every day and march towards your flippin' color. As jy blou is en jy wil geel wees, dan moet jy move na geel toe. And if you can't do it yourself, then ask people to help you. These people, they are not your enemies. They are your guides, your serpas, the guys who help you to move forward. Sit at their feet and figure out how to get from your blue to your yellow. So it's not just about autonomy. It's about understanding that if you have motivation 3.0, you step into mastery. You were born with gifts and talents, and your job is to master your craft. Robert Greene says mastery is not a function of genius or talent. It is a function of time and intense focus applied to a particular field of knowledge. I don't know what it is that you want to master. Maybe it is some technical stuff. Maybe it's something in the knowledge space. But whatever you're trying to master, you need to work at that intentionally, and it takes some effort. 3 things to remember. Number 1, when we talk about mastery, understand that mastery is a mindset. You've got 2 mindsets, right? A growth mindset or a fixed mindset. The assumption is that all of you guys are in a growth mindset. And when you are in a growth mindset, you say stuff like, I can learn anything I want to. The person who's in a fixed mindset says, I'm either good at it or I'm bad at it. I go play cricket, They bowl me first ball. Fuck cricket, man. The person with a growth mindset says, I've never played cricket in my life. At least I got one ball. The next time I play, hopefully, I will get two. So you need to understand that when you step into mastery, it's all about a mindset. It's the way you see things. When you write a test and you get 30%, don't be upset. You say, you're 30%. There's 70% that I still don't know. If you are on a fixed mindset, you say, yo, I got 30. The subject is not for me, it's too difficult. Let me change to a new one. You want to be in a growth mindset because that is what you need to get to mastery. A guy with the name of Low Holt said, if what you did yesterday seems big, you've not done anything today. Put differently, if today you still talk about what you did yesterday, then you haven't done anything today. If today you're still laughing at yesterday's jokes, you haven't made new jokes. If you sit in grade 12 and you still tell me how clever you were in grade 11, you've not yet stepped into grade 12. So understand that it's a mindset where growth is your highest priority. Often when we get to school, we get tricked into chasing this, what people call achievement goals. But what we should be chasing are learning goals. There's a difference between getting an A for French and being able to speak French. In many cases, we chase getting an A for French. Oh, they coach me, last year's question paper, work it out, work it out, work it out. If they ask me what they had last year, I'm going to get 90. You are focusing on performance, you're not focusing on learning. Mastery is about focusing on learning as your highest priority. Understand that when I talk about growth and a growth mindset, if you're in a comfort zone, hey, I just come to the school, I just sit, and when I sit, things happen. You need to understand you're in a comfort zone and nothing grows there. You need to be in a space where you are uncomfortable. And let's face it, you guys are in a brilliant space because everything around you is uncomfortable, which means growth is the only thing that you can get out of this exercise. So get out of your comfort zone. Number 2, it's a mindset. But when you talk about mastery, understand that it comes with hard work, right? You will need to figure out how to become mentally tough. We all have emotions, and those emotions get triggered when something happens. And if we're unable to manage our emotions, then all hell breaks loose. For you to be mentally tough, you need to understand your emotions. You need to be able to manage them, and sometimes you must be able to resist them. And that little voice comes that says, but you must know you can't, man. Nobody in your family has ever done this. Just stop. Dan moet jy sê, you need to figure out how to be mentally tough because when you commit to mastery, it is a process that you need to work hard at. Elon Musk says the first step to establish that something is possible, that's what you first need to do. And once you've decided that something is possible, then probability will occur. Put in another way, Elon Musk says that in life you need to distinguish between what is impossible and what has never been done before. When things have never been done before, you can be the first person to do that. If what you have now has never been done before, then the brackies of 2020 are in a position to be the first people to do exactly that. When you speak about mastery, understand that it comes with pain. John Wooden said, do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. And as I said, some of you here are nervous about the grade 12 exam. Huh? Ooh, Yuri. Some of you wrote the prelims. And the prelims is most kind of a predictor of what's going to happen afterwards. So if you couldn't make the prelims, oh, hierdie talk, should I even try the next one? So I need to remind you, my brother, let's go back to grade 1. Can you remember when you couldn't write your name? You all passed grade 1. And then you went to grade 2 and you passed. And 3, you passed. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hopefully nobody 9 twice. 10, 11. So your whole life says for 11 years you can pass exams. Why are you getting to grade 12 and now you're worried about an exam if your whole life tells a story of you being able to do brilliant things? Some of you need to go back to grade 3. Can you remember in grade 3? Mrs. Andrews. Mrs. Andrews gave you a gold star. She put it on your forehead. She said, Jay is amazing. And when you got that feedback from Mrs. Abrams, you felt amazing. Now, if in grade 3 you could feel like this, I need to remind you that today you can feel like that again. And if you can feel like that again today, I need to encourage you that in the future you will be able to feel like that again. So mastery, it's a process, but it's something that we work at. Thirdly, when you master your craft, understand that it's something that you never get to. Gary Player said, the more I practice, the luckier I get. Good, better, best, never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. Maya Angelou said, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. Understand that mastery is a process. It's asymptotic. As you come closer, you realize how little you know, and then you keep on going. That is what you need to understand about mastery. Lastly, so it's about autonomy. It's about mastery. Mastery is a mindset. It comes with pain, but it's something that you achieve, right? Something that you chase. It's aspirational. What is your motto at the school? Altiora Speru. Does Alterio speak about chasing? Higher? So your whole motto speaks about the third aspect of mastery, right? Lastly, it's all about purpose. Look at this beautiful quote. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to take that gift and give it away. We are all on a journey. And you guys have all discovered the World Wide Web. Because suddenly you had to become independent thinkers, independent learners. Some of you were able to figure out whether you are a visual learner, an auditory learner, or a kinesthetic learner. So you were searching the web, www. But for me, www also speaks to three things. One, as we journey through life, it is connecting with whose you are. Whose you are in terms of your family, whose you are in terms of the school that you attend, your community, but also whose you are in terms of your religion or your spirituality. That is the first thing that you're chasing. The next W is where you chase the what. So whose am I? But what am I? What I am is an opportunity for me to show the world whose I am. You never met my dad, but when you look at me, I think you get a sense of who my dad was. If you are religious, then when you look at me, you hopefully see whose I am. Thirdly, it's not just whose, it's not just what, it is who you are becoming. We grow through challenge, and we are looking forward to seeing who and what you will become. I'm Gillian, by the way, and I decided that each letter in my name has got meaning. So if you wake me up and you ask me, Gillian, who are you? I'll tell you I'm Gillian. I'm a gifted individual who loves to learn, inspire, affirm, and nurture. That is me. My question to you will be, who are you becoming? Life changes us. Life forms us. So let me quickly wrap up and share with you 3 stories out of my own life. A couple of years later, I visited the beautiful town of Elsie's River. And as I was coming out of a school in Elsie's River, there was a young man who asked me for a lift. He said, "Boss, listen, I just want to get down the road. We need to go and fetch something for my car. If you can give me a lift, that would be brilliant." I said, "Brother, let's go." Because that is who I am. The bra got into my little bakkie, and there we were driving along, having a beautiful conversation. I stopped just opposite the police station. As he got out of the car, he kept one foot in, put the other one out, pulled out a 9mm, and a friend of his jumped in the bakkie as well. So there I was sitting in Holt Road with 2 guys in my bakkie and one putting a 9mm in my face. They looked at my wallet, they looked at my phone, and they decided that they've got better use for those elements. I looked at them and I had a frozen moment. I said, "Let it go, let it go." And they left with what I had. Fortunately, I'm still here. Couple of years later, I one day woke up in the early hours of the morning, about 3 o'clock or so. And as I woke up, I discovered that I am paralyzed on the right side of my body. I suffered what people call a mini stroke. Was late 30s, early 40s. From that day, of course, I was rushed to hospital, couple of injections. I'm now on blood thinners, I'm on cholesterol tablets, and I'm on hypertension tablets. So I am probably a person living with comorbidities. The reason why I'm telling you these stories is just simple. I believe that as we become more aware, we can make better choices and therefore get better results. When I was robbed in Elsie's River, I said that my life is about giving back to people, but in this world there would be what we could call evil. And I need to be mindful as I engage with people, but that should not stop me from being who I am. When I woke up half paralyzed, I realized that I'm not going to be on planet Earth forever. I need to be intentional in terms of what I do. So here's the question to you, class of 2020. If this Friday is the day for which you will be remembered, how will you choose to live this Friday? If 2020 is the year for which your school and the matriculants are remembered, how do you want to be remembered? Martin Luther King says, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But please keep moving forward. Again, Will Smith said, this is your life. This is your happiness. But it is also your responsibility. Die manne van die Kaap sê, don't dollar what people approve. Dollar what you must. Have a brilliant day and enjoy.